Hello, I'm Brian-esl from How-to-Automotive, and this is my daughter Vanessa, and today we're going to show you exactly how easy it is to swap out your rear shocks on a BMW E90. So come with us.
Alright, so we're going to get started by jacking up the car from the rear frame, throwing some jack stands underneath it, and taking off the tire.
It's also a good idea to chalk off the front wheel. Alright, so Vanessa picked up some quality replacements. These are pretty much the direct factory replacement, made in Germany shocks. All the hardware to go with it. Make the job super easy. So when you're working at home, it comes with challenges. Today we're dealing with some bad weather, but that's not going to stop us. What we're going to do is start by taking the bottom of the shock off on here on the driver's side. The same process is going to be the other side. We're going to show you the driver's side here, and you can just duplicate that on the passenger side. So we're going to get started by taking the bottom bolt of the shock off. So I started by putting my jack underneath the control arm, but not all the way under the shock. So the shock comes through here, right here, off to the side a little bit, and that's going to allow us to jack up the suspension or lower the suspension as we need to get the shock in and out of this car. So Vanessa is going to take off the 17mm bolt here. So you see this, the main part of the spindle here. Right on the inside is where the bolt is for the shock. Right there. She's going to remove that. Go ahead. If you're doing it by hand, you may have to put a wrench right here on the shock and hold the shock from spinning. If you have a power tool like Vanessa's using here, you can go ahead and just spin it out. So that made quick and easy work. Right, so you need to go into your trunk and remove the clips like this on your left and right side. So there's going to be a couple of them around in a few different spots. So go ahead and pull these out, and then you can pull this felt fabric material inwards, and you can get access to the top of the struts, or shocks I should say. It's going to be on both left and right side, so a couple over here, a couple over here, and then you can pull this panel down. The passenger side is pretty simple. With the battery box door out, you can go ahead and after you get the clips out, you can fold it down, and then you can get access to the top of the shock. So the passenger driver side is a little harder. You have to take out this little hold down clip. It's held in with a Torx screw right here. So that cover holds this in. That gives you a bit more freedom to maneuver this. And then once you get it, you don't want to have to take it all the way out. You just want to get back there far enough to take out that bolt. Peel it back as far as I can, and then on the inside there'll be a little rubber cover like this. Pop that off. Now you can see the top of the shock there. All right, to get the shock off, you'll need a 16mm ratcheting wrench. You'll need a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 6mm socket. The ratcheting wrench will go on in the left position. The ratchet will go on the top of the shock tower like that, and then you can loosen it up. If you don't use this, it will spin on you and you won't be able to take the bolt off. So we got the shock undone from the inside and the bottom, so you just pull it out just like that. Pretty simple. So now you can pry the bushing out like this, and we got all new hardware, so we're going to just toss this. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the old one versus the new one when you compress them, how they perform when they're bad and versus when they're good.
Crazy.
All right, so we made a mistake and we forgot to order the bottom bushing here. So this bolts on from the bottom. So the bolt you can see here comes in from the bottom side here. There's a Torx screw there, and on the opposite side. And then this will just lift straight up and out. So we forgot to order it, but for now we're going to put the shock in without it, and we'll reorder it, and we'll just have to redo our job. Now we're going to reassemble the new shock and put it in. So you're going to put the bump stop on first. Next you're going to take the metal washer and put the metal washer on. And we had to take that from the old shock and put it on over the bump stop. Then you put the rubber bushing on. Now Vanessa's going to compress the cylinder into the shock, and then she's going to install it into the car. There you go. Nicely done. So you want to get back here? So, got it? So now I install the top here. We can get our 16mm and our ratchet again and tighten this up. They're bushing, so you're going to just tighten them up till you feel them squish about 50% on each side. You'll kind of have to do this by feel. So you're going to put your ratchet wrenching on tighten. So as you can see right there, it's spinning on me. So now to tighten, I have to put the top ratchet on loosen. Put this on here like this. and now I can hold this and tighten this bolt, and I'm going to do it to feel. You'll feel it kind of crush down. So now it's snugging up. Now we can go back below. All right, now that you got your shock secure, you can go ahead and put the rubber bushing back on. This is to prevent any weather from coming up into your trunk. So go ahead and just reinstall that, press that back in. And then you can put the paneling back here, put that all back on, put the clips back on, and re-secure all that. That'll be done. Get the shock in, the top bolt tightened here. So now what we did was we put the floor jack underneath the control arm like I showed you earlier, because you can't put the bolt on here just quite yet. So we need to jack the spring and control arm up to get the bolt to stab through. It's not quite all the way through right here. Go ahead and jack that up, Vanessa. So she's going to jack it up for me. Jack the suspension up, and as it goes up, it'll push the shock through the bottom here, and I'll be able to start the bolt. So just compress the spring. Just be careful not to jack it up high enough where you're coming off the jack stands, which you are right now. We can take the washer and the nut and get it through here. Now you can take your impact gun or a wrench and turn the screw here in the bottom. You can also hold it right here with the wrench. If it spins on you, we're good to go. You just got to run them up till they're snug, and that's it. Now you can lower your jack, put your wheel back on. When I was putting the trunk back together, I had to like massage it really good and like mold it like that and get it to tuck back in behind the panel, and then just kind of just work the little creases out. Put the clip back on, and you can put your clips back on. The easiest ways to tell if you need a pair of shocks or set of shocks is if you look at the new bump stop here, how nice and neat it is, and you can see how blown out this bump stop is. What's happening is this shock is bottoming out and it's blowing this apart. So that's an indication that your shock is no longer working. Also, you should be able to feel it when you're driving.
All right, so now all that's left to do is just throw the wheels back on, take it for a test drive, and we're all good.
I'm Brian-esl from How to Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching and encourage you to subscribe.